Glenn Robinson and teammate Ray Allen, the Bucks no longer reside in the NBA's shadows. Milwaukee's energetic and entertaining style was illuminated for the nation this weekend with Ray and Glenn toting the torch. The Bucks begin the season's second half with a mission: become focused, get tough, and help each other in the process. Tonight, Michael Finley and Dallas will test that focus, along with the strangest of bedfellows, Don Nelson and Dennis Rodman. The tent has been pitched as the Bucks and the Mavericks prepare for round 2 of Rodmania. Good evening and welcome to Bucks basketball. We hope you enjoyed the All-Star Weekend with John McLaughlin. I'm Jim Paschke. We're glad to be back with you, bringing you Bucks basketball. And George Karl has asked the Bucks to focus for the final 32 games of the season. That may be tough given what's going to happen here tonight.
Well, Jim, you're right. It's going to be a big tent here tonight, the Rodman tent. You can tell just by the press room, the amount of people in it, the people in the stands. They've come out to see Dennis Rodman. It has really sparked this franchise, if you will. Good or bad reasons, but he's a factor on the court, and that's something the Bucks have to contend with. They've got some good basketball players, and the Bucks are going to have to be ready to play because they're playing well together right now.
The Bucks practiced here last night. They had a decent go-around. They know what they have to do. Listen to Ray Allen. He tells us what to expect from Milwaukee in the second half.
Be solid. I think that we have I won't say fairly easy part of the schedule, but it's probably going to be the easiest for us this coming up month. So we have to beat the teams that we should beat and go out there and beat teams and play hard against the teams that are some of the best teams in the NBA.
George Karl would like the Bucks to win 2 of every 3 games the rest of the way. Is that an attainable goal?
I think it's attainable, Jim, but it's a lofty goal, and the Bucks are going to have to play better defensively if they're going to attain that goal. And I'm going to throw you this cliche. To do it, they have to start tonight. They've got to think about this one game. George Karl says, man, I'm really nervous. We can't let it go 4 losses. We got to get this one.
Well, we're going to get a couple of tattoos. John's going to pick up a nose ring, and we'll be back with our keys to the game right after this. Milwaukee brought to you by Dodge and the friendly Dodge dealers near you. In a perfect world, everything would be different.
My keys tonight are going to start with consistency. It's important that the Bucks come out and play 4 good quarters. Number 2, you have to contain Finley and Ceballos. They're outstanding offensive players. They will get out, they will use their quickness, and the Bucks are focusing on their team defense tonight. And number 3, the Bucks must move the ball. Keep good spacing and move the ball because Dallas as a team will capitalize on turnovers and get down the court.
2 all-star shooting guards are matched up tonight. Ray Allen led the Bucks with 20 points in a 103-97 victory over Dallas in Milwaukee. He hit both of the Bucks' 3-pointers and was perfect from the line. Michael Finley, also a first-time All-Star, has scored 20 or more 32 times, including 29 in Milwaukee. We have 2 high flyers paired up tonight.
And, Jim, they're legitimate all-stars. They're great talents, 2 young people that can really play this game. It will be interesting to watch the matchup. The Bucks have to defend Finley if they're going to win the ball game.
We'll have basketball straight ahead. The Bucks and the Mavericks from Dallas on the Bucks Television Network. So the Dallas Mavericks on the upswing, and they will be in a new building in a couple of years. Tonight, the Bucks and the Mavericks in Game 2 of their 2-game season series. Milwaukee winning by 6 at the Bradley Center. And tonight, John, it will be an interesting situation. Of course, the Bucks have a team that can obviously compete with the Mavericks, but the Rodman factor becomes the X factor.
It really does, Jim, because one reason, well, there's a few reasons. One is he gets the crowd into it. They have a larger crowd here because of him, and he will get them into it. Number 2, it's the board work he does bring to it. He's going to concentrate on rebounding, and that's been a weakness of this ball club in the past. So that's something else he'll bring. Now, we're told that he's not in great condition. He does not get past half court very often, and when he does, they have to play offense with 4 men, not 5, and he's not the defender all the time away from the basket that he has been. He wants to hang around the hoop and get rebounds.
Let me get this straight. He doesn't have to practice. He can ride a bike. He doesn't have to show up with the rest of the players before a game, and he only has to play 47 feet.
Right.
Okay. You played against one of the great rebounders of all time, Wilt Chamberlain. Anyone under 20 might think Rodman is among the best. Compare the top 5 rebounding seasons of these two.
Well, there is no comparison. Rodman's done a tremendous job, but it doesn't compete with Wilt. Now, Wilt was a bigger man, different eras. You'd really have to break it down to compare, but look what Wilt Chamberlain did.
John, when you consider the top 5 rebounding seasons of these two men, only one of those came in a title season, 97 for Rodman. That's somewhat surprising.
That is very surprising to me. And you would think that the way these guys rebounded, that it would contribute so much to their teams. And they had some good people around them each, of course. And, of course, you go back to Wilt's career, Jim. He spent a lot of time on teams that just didn't quite get it done until, of course, Philadelphia and then Los Angeles.
In an era when pro wrestlers are listed on the New York Times bestseller list, this is nothing. It's every day now. Rodman may play forever.
It's sports today, good or bad, and a lot of people like it, obviously. The fans here in Dallas, in general, seem to be pleased that he's with their ball club.
Rodman sporting the blonde do tonight. The only mystery to this point is what number he will wear. He has said that he will alternate numbers throughout the season, wearing the 4 numbers he has worn in the NBA. We shall see. He wore number 70 in Game 1 for the Mavericks. A loss last Wednesday night to Seattle. Don Nelson in his 3rd Mavericks season. Nelson in his last Mavericks season, apparently. He has said that he will step down, so this could be the last time Don Nelson faces the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, I don't know if FINLEY will have another life or not. He's been a great, great coach in the NBA. His best years, I will always believe, were in Milwaukee. Had some fair years after that, but he is certainly a guy that has been around the game and been an influence.
The Bucks lineup features 2 All-Stars, Robinson and Allen, along with Scott Williams, Irvin Johnson, and Sam Cassell. For the Mavericks, Dirk Nowitzki, Dennis Rodman, Sean Bradley up front, All-Star Michael Finley, and point guard Eric Strickland. The lineups are brought to you by the new Century Foods. Because we buy more, you pay less. It's a big deal.
That's a very big front line, Jim, that they have. They can really do a job rebounding-wise, and defensively, it will affect the Bucks going inside offensively.
The Bucks' next 2 games are against the tallest teams in the league. Indiana on Thursday at the Bradley Center, the tallest team. Tonight, the Mavericks are the 2nd tallest team in the league.
And they're a team that can get up and down the court. They have some use to them, Jim. Nowitzki is a heck of a basketball player. Bradley can alter games with his defense, just with his size. And if he's having a good game, he will be a major factor. When you look at their starting 5, it's a starting 5 to be concerned about. They have some firepower, and they have some firepower coming off the bench. They can shoot threes, and they can transition.
David Jones, Ken Maurer, and Hank Armstrong will work the game. In Rodman's first game, Ceballos started. Bradley came off the bench. Bradley didn't like it. Don Nelson liked what he saw when Bradley and Rodman were on the court together, so they're starting tonight.
Yeah, well, Brett, you're right. And we did not really expect Bradley to be a starter, so that's the change. We'll see what kind of impact he has.
Underway with Dallas controlling the opening tap. The Mavericks had 6,000 seats available this morning for this game. The place holds just over 18. Bradley on the hook shot, it's in.
Now, if he's having a good night, he has his offense going, just being around his defense is a factor, then he will be something to contend with tonight.
The Mavericks hosted their 2nd largest crowd ever last Wednesday in Rodman's debut, not to mention a horde of media coverage. Robinson, like an all-star.
I mean, that did not even ruffle the net. The net actually was stuck up, Jim, and Bradley just reached up and pulled it down to pull the strings down through the rim.
It was stuck up, the ball went through, and it was still stuck up.
Right. Ball didn't touch the net. Is that your point?
Rodman trying to find Finley.
Now, when you're at that end of the court playing defense, Rodman does not have to be defended. You just got to keep him away from the glass for a putback. So therefore, the Bucks can roam that guy and give help.
Sam Cassell shot off to the corner. Rodman and Cassell get there. They both carry it out of bounds in the air, so it will be a jump ball. Every time I look at Rodman, I remember his first NBA game. It was the first game that you and I ever worked together. October 31st of 1986.
Detroit.
Regular hair, no tattoos.
Didn't really pay a lot of attention to him, did we?
He was a scorer back then. He came out of college known as a scorer. Wow, not anymore. How did that happen? Rodman taps it to Scott Williams. Might have been held. It's all right. The Bucks will take it. And Williams can't get the shot to go. Irvin Johnson battling for the rebound. He keeps it in play, but it goes to Strickland. Irvin Johnson on the floor. Just getting up now. He's all right. Back out. Long shot. That is a triple for Eric Strickland.
You have to be careful when you save a ball like that. Irvin's had a couple situations where it's given them the opportunity. You're better to carry it out rather than turn it over to the other team.
Most notably in New York, the Bucks' first overtime game and loss of the season. Robinson rattles it, and Rodman has the rebound. Strickland alley-oop ahead. Cassell breaks it up. Rodman looking to pass. He goes to Nowitzki. Johnny had good position and gave up any thought of a shot. Nowitzki doesn't give up any thought of any shot.
Well, they are a team that likes the transition. When Sabatos is in, Finley, all these guys like to run. With Rodman here rebounding, that's going to allow them to do what they want to do, and that's advance the ball.
Ray Allen, 3-0, and Rodman again to the ball. He ends up sitting in the first row. About 4 empty seats. He landed in seat number 2. Here's Bradley. He shows it. Williams bodies him. Rodman just over half court when he got that pass. 8 on the shot clock. Nowitzki 4 on the shot. Bradley tip try won't go, and Williams will be called for a foul over the back of Bradley.
See, there's where Bradley's just position on the court is a factor. He is so tall that trying to keep him away from this type of position is not always easy. He wasn't blocked out that time, but even when he's blocked out on a long rebound, he can get to it.
Strickland thought he was fouled. He missed everything.
And Sam had to go back. Whoop! Forgot the ball. Come on, guys. Rather than just shooting jumpers, let's get something going. At the basket, even though they're big inside, you have to challenge.
John, we talk about how teams play coming off a long road trip, and we know how the Bucks have played off their West Coast trip, losing 3 in a row. How do teams play coming off a long All-Star layoff?
Well, a lot of times it can be a bit dull starting out. That's why the Bucks had a real good scrimmage practice. It was hard. A lot of running last night, and you try to get guys back quickly. It depends on the person. Some guys can take off and be better. Others, they need a game or two.
Finley misses. Rodman puts it up and draws the foul. Irvin Johnson.
That's the only way he's going to hurt you offensively, but he will hurt you that way. He's around the basket. It's the first time he's even been near the paint at the offensive end, but he gets the putback.
So Rodman wearing number 70. He has said that he might wear his 73 worn with the Lakers, 91 in Chicago, and he wore 10 with Detroit and San Antonio.
Well, I don't know what the league rule is, Jim, but I'm surprised he's allowed to do that.
I doubt if he can.
I think enough exceptions are being made, and I'm not one of those that believe in different rules for different people, but he seems to have it.
Rodman has his first point as a Maverick. It comes from the free throw line. He was scoreless, but had 13 rebounds against Seattle. Allen around Bradley. No room there, but he finds a way to pass it out. Robinson drops it for Irvin Johnson. Blocked by Bradley right at the rim. And the ball will go to Dallas.
Bradley's presence, 7-4, pays off. He makes a heck of a play. With that height, he should make that kind of a play once in a while. Right now, the Mavs have a lot of enthusiasm, Jim. You can tell they're feeding off one another. The fans are in on it. They're getting fouls. They're controlling the game at this point.
Scott Williams picks up his second.
Scott Williams is second.
They're not playing like a team that is in disarray or has not played well this year. They seem to have some newfound confidence. Perhaps some of that's Rodman. Perhaps other parts of it is their all-star Michael Finley. But They're a team that has been playing much better in the last couple of weeks prior to the All-Star break.
George Karl goes to his bench. Tim Thomas for Scott Williams. 8:04 remaining in the first quarter. The Mavs up 10-2. Robinson squares up. Irvin Johnson, great work to get the rebound. Bradley was in front of him. Allen, high-arching shot is in. Boy, you have to shoot it like that with Bradley and Nowitzki under the basket.
Jim, that's an alter, too. He had to throw it higher, as you said. That's an alter, but he got it to go anyway. And when you go inside with these guys in there, especially that man with the ball, that's just a tower he's got to contend with.
They clear out for Bradley. He scores it. Irvin Johnson doing the best he could with his body. Bradley just leans in and hits. He has 6. He has half of the Mavericks' points at this point.
Jimmy averages 8 on the year, so as I said, if he's having an offensive night, look out. That's a 3 by Glenn Robinson.
Nowitzki has never met a shot he hasn't liked. He is a good offensive player.
Yeah, and they say very questionable defensively, but that tag could be on a lot of people.
Sam Cassell. Nowitzki is considered to be one of the front runners for the most improved player award. To the corner, Michael Finley. That 3 comes away. Rodman had it. Bradley takes it from him. And the Bucks come out of there. Sam Cassell. It's a 4-on-2. Decent spacing. 3 Allen, it's in. Ray Allen with the 3. The Bucks with a triple. And the back fund picks up $50. Compliments of Piggly Wiggly.
So well done. That's when you get the great look for the 3. Out of transition, the defense either isn't back or they've retreated too much into the paint.
That's a nice play. Finley gives it right back to Sean Bradley.
See, Irvin Johnson starts to come for double team, but gets caught in between. So he's not on Bradley or in the double team. Bradley can go right to the basket and get that for sure shot.
Bradley pulls it off the iron. Michael Finley, former Wisconsin star, brings it over. Finley making his first trip to the All-Star game along with Glenn Robinson and Ray Allen.
And all 3 did a fine job there, didn't they?
Wow. They did. Cassell to the middle. He finds Robinson. And we get a line violation. Glenn Robinson stepping out of bounds. 5:11 on the clock as we take a timeout. The Bucks have closed the gap. 14-12 Dallas on the Bucks Television Network. Millwall tonight. You can pick up a $17 ticket for just $11 if you call during our telecast. 414-227-0500. Members of the Bucs sales staff are standing by. Call now at 227-0500. It pays to watch the Bucs Television Network. Glad to have you along tonight. The Bucs have closed the gap, trailing by 2 now at 14-12 with just over 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Finley looks for Bradley. Irvin Johnson defending with the forearm, and Bradley slips away from him.
Well, they're going to continue to go to Bradley, Jim. They screen across for him so that he can come and get the post on the left box. They're going to continue to go that as long as he gets that type of a shot.
Allen working hard. Finley got a hand on it. Cassell keeps it in play. 6 on the shot clock. Sam Cassell dancing, tough shot. I think Finley got a piece of that. Now a 24-second violation.
He did get a piece of it, Jim. That was an excellent defense by the Mavericks all the way around. See, and this is, again, Bradley. When the Bucs are trying to go inside, Bradley is there. The mountain is there. You've got to then pass back out, and the clock's going against you.
Dallas 10. in the paint so far. The Bucks with 2. And we'll get a foul underneath. Nowitzki drives the basket. Cassell gets him. John, this is a classic case, I would think, of a team thinking about drawing and kicking. You draw the defense with penetration and then kick it out for your shooters.
You're going to have to, as long as Bradley's in there, Jim, and playing like this, very assertive with a lot of authority. But the Bucks tried that the last time, and they had covered the outlets there. So a couple things going against them. Bradley's defense inside, which we talked about, and also now we're putting the Mavericks on the line very early in this ballgame.
Dirk Nowitzki makes it 18-12. He has 4. Allen can't get it to go. Irvin Johnson crashes the glass, and Rodman has the rebound. The Bucks have out-rebounded the Mavs 9-7. Rodman has 4. Shot clock at 7. Bradley hook shot too deep. Irvin Johnson finds Sam Cassell. Here they come. There's that kick out. 3 comes off. Robinson has it right back to Ray Allen off the front again. Irvin Johnson. Boy, you have to get something when you get 3 shots, and they were all open looks.
They were all jumpers. They were. Ray, usually when you get a reload like that, Jim, like Ray got, usually that's going to be down, but they were both off to the left a bit. But Irvin Johnson doing a fine job on the offensive boards here early in this ballgame.
The Bucks' designated passer about to come in, Vinny Del Negro. Just over 3 minutes in the opening quarter. Eric Strickland's 3 off for Cassell. He has Irvin Johnson in front. We get a block. Strickland against Cassell.
Foul, Dallas, number 20, Eric Strickland.
And a timeout called with 2:56 remaining in the opening period. It's charged to Milwaukee. The Bucks trail by 4. 18-14 on the Bucks television network. 54.2 points a game. Robinson, Allen, and Cassell right behind at 63. Then it's Finley, Sabatos, and Nowitzki for Dallas. The league leaders are brought to you by your Milwaukee and surrounding area Chrysler, Plymouth, and Jeep dealers.
Does that mean it's the big 6 in this game?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Jim, shooting. Neither team shooting well. The Bucks almost 32%, the Mavs 40%, but the Bucks have 7 offensive rebounds. They've been going and getting some of those missed shots, thanks to Irvin Johnson in particular.
John Bradley with another rebound off the Thomas miss. Steve Nash, 4th-year player from Santa Clara, on the handle.
He's a guy a lot of people liked at one time, Jim. Liked his game. He brought a lot of talent and intensity to it. Now, transition again, Ray Allen.
From Del Negro on the fast break basket. The Bucks are within 2. Ray has 7. Nowitzki smothered and fouled, apparently. David Jones calling the foul, and Hank Armstrong saw it as well. Irvin Johnson saying, I had my arms up. That's 2 on EJ. Let's look.
Dirk can take it to the basket, Jim. That's the 2nd time he's gotten to the baseline. 1 was on a dunk, but already drawing fouls. Again, too many free throws already taken by the Mavs in this ballgame. But guess who takes the most, who gets to the line the most for the Mavericks? The guy on the line.
Scott Williams will return. Irvin Johnson will leave. Both men have 2 fouls.
Jim, let's talk about Nash for a minute. You know, at one time, there were a lot of teams interested in this guy. And you look at his numbers now. He's averaging 22 minutes a game and almost 4 assists. Pretty good. That's what they want out of him. But I don't think he's quite delivered here like the expectation.
2 minutes remaining.
That came with it.
I have numbers that support that even further. $5.5 million average over 6 seasons.
I mean, he showed some glimpses of one time. At one time, that got a lot of teams interested, and then nothing.
It got him a $33 million contract extension. So that tells you they were interested.
That's all it takes. Have a glimpse or some hope. They think you might possess something, get that contract, and then what? Disappear? Well, not quite, but maybe he's not capable of being the player that everybody thought he might be. Nash,
by the way, from British Columbia in Canada. He worked for British television during the All-Star Weekend festivities. He covered the event for the Brits.
Just another color analyst. One more on the horizon, huh?
There are plenty out there, John.
Yeah.
But not as good as... Oh, 140 left in the first quarter.
There's that 10. Okay.
He picked up the check last night, folks.
Yeah, we won't say where, huh?
Or how much.
Right. Please, make it sound good, okay?
Rodman returning for Dallas. I wonder who will win the ratings battle tonight, the Dennis Rodman show here or the Westminster Dog Show. What do you think?
I got a lot of comments. I'm not going to make them. Just Bucks television. That's where they ought to be.
Stay with us tonight. It'll be interesting. Rodman has 5 rebounds now.
Did you run out and get that tattoo yet?
I got one of those fake ones. They last about a week. Underneath, it's Cedric Ceballos from Rodman.
Back screen by Nash, which frees Ceballos up. Got to call those out. I'll tell you, I've always said this, Jim. I like back screens because players don't talk that often and work through it.
Allen, he knew he couldn't jam it. He had to float it up there. The ball is lost out of bounds off Rodman. Danny Manning will get the call for the Bucks. Robinson to the bench.
You know, I mean, Ray Allen's a great player, and he can make good decisions, but at times like that, Jim, he needs to look to make the pass rather than trying to get it over the tallest guy in the state.
Suck those big guys into the middle and then kick it out.
Right, and what's important is the other guys, whoever Bradley happens to be defending at the time, they have to get to the opening. They have to be there so that the penetrator can find them.
Now we're ready. 58.3 seconds out for Del Negro. He had a toe on the line. Doesn't go anyway. The Bucks get a reload. Thomas underneath, and Bradley stops him as he tries for the reverse. Nash, Finley, and Ceballos.
That fast break came out of their defense, and again, it's Bradley, who has been a mountain defensively already in this ballgame.
Manning knocked it out. Ceballos got it. This is Nash. Williams and Del Negro battling for the rebound long enough to allow Finley to come over and try to steal it or tie him up.
Well, the Mavs have not been known for their defense, nor have the Bucks this year. But with Bradley playing like this, they should be a good defensive team. And at this point, they have been in this game.
There's a kick out by Ray Allen. And a rattle out for Thomas. Allen looks at the shot clock on the other end, sees 6 and change. Into the middle. Out Manning. It's good. And it's a 3. Danny Manning with a 3. That is his first three-point basket. He had been 0 for 1, so Manning drains a triple to make it a 5-point lead for Dallas after 1. Nice play. Allen kicking it out, and the Bucks are down 24-19 on the Bucks television network. Bradley Center. We'll have the action for you. Reggie Miller and company. Come to Milwaukee. George Carroll had a tough night in Indianapolis. He'd like to get one back. Thursday at 7 on MSC. Brought to you by cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Never miss a genuine opportunity. And if you'd like to join us at the Bradley Center, we hope you will. We have that ticket special for you tonight. A $17 ticket for just $11 if you call during the telecast at 227-0500. Ray Allen starts the second quarter with a jam after ending the first quarter with that kick out for a Manning 3.
Now, Jim, he started on the right side. He went through the paint, came around a screen on the left box. Nash is trying to shadow him, trails him. He curls in rather than taking the jumper. Nash can't stay with it.
Finley in the paint, up and in over Allen. 26-21 Dallas.
Now, Finley really hasn't had the ball in offensive position that much, and I would think they might consider getting it to him. He is an all-star. Remember?
That was his first basket and first 2 points. Manning from the top, about 23 feet away. Williams battling, but the rebound finally ends up in the hands of Michael Finley. Inside, Ceballos. They worked around Williams and Thomas.
That's covering a lot of turf without a travel. Since they didn't call it, great play. At this end, the big tall one's out of the ball game, so now you want to go inside a little bit more.
Ray Allen.
Nowitzki's big, but he's not Bradley.
Michael Finley takes it to the rack.
He can motor.
Finley in his 5th season. He's one of 3 in the league, averaging 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, at least those numbers. The other 2 being Gary Payton and Grant Hill.
Not just because of those numbers, boy, I love his game.
Finley finds Nash. The Bucks had 2 back. Finley on the finish with emphasis. George Karl wants a timeout. 9:57 remaining in the second quarter. Dallas has opened it up now by 9 at 32-23.
Milwaukee Bucks basketball is brought to you by your Toyota dealers. Potawatomi Bingo Casino. Piggly Wiggly. McDonald's Restaurants of Southeastern Wisconsin.
Rest of you and me, what has been your favorite Bucks game to broadcast this season? You first.
Well, I'll bet we're going to agree, Jim, although there have been a number that the Bucks have won at the buzzer, so which buzzer beater do you want to pick? But I think with everything surrounding the game, you have to say Seattle, at Seattle.
That's a great choice. The Utah game, of course, another buzzer beater with zeros showing. Glenn Robinson hitting that step-back 3. That was one of the great shots I've ever seen.
I agree. But I think because of George going back to Seattle and then winning it at the buzzer, maybe gave an edge to the Utah game. Although we haven't won in Utah in so long, it could be a toss-up.
Dirk Nowitzki picking up his foul. That's number 1. Yeah, the Bucks hadn't won in the Delta Center at all, and it had been 12 years in Salt Lake City.
It's too many. And in this one, Jim, the Bucks are getting a lot of shots, a lot more shots. The problem is they're only shooting 31%. They're making them at the other end and shooting 52%. So the quantity isn't the factor. You got to get some quality in there, and that's why the Mavs are leading.
The Bucks forced to work deep into the shot clock. They come up empty, and Nash gets 2 more on this end to make it 34-23.
Well, the Bucks shot no free throws in the first quarter. They were 7 for 8, plus shooting percentage a factor. So overall, the Mavs controlling the ball game. Bucks taking too many jump shots. You don't have to with Bradley out of the game.
Finley for 3. And now the Mercedes scoreboard shows 37-23 in the second quarter.
Now,
Finley has 9.
And if the Bucks don't reverse it right here, we're going to look at a blowout. They got to get it back right here in this quarter.
Williams from the top. The Mavericks have been outscored in the first, second, and fourth quarters this season, generally. The third quarter has been their best.
And it's always at this end when you have to make up a deficit.
Under 8.5 to play in the second quarter. We get an illegal defense called against the Bucks. David Jones, that's a warning. Tim Thomas will come to the Bucks bench. Milwaukee going with Del Negro, Manning, Cassell, Williams, and now Glenn Robinson. Del Negro defending Ceballos. He gets help, and the open man is Dirk Nowitzki.
When you start to gamble and double to try to get back in it, and they swing the ball like that, they're going to get open looks. If they make them, then you've got a real mountain to climb. There you go. Thank you. Something other than a jumper.
Williams almost. Ceballos Yes. 41-27.
Nice pass by Rodman. Just enough on it to give them a layup, showing again how they'll transition.
Foul, Dallas, number 23.
Cedric Ceballos picks up the foul.
Second team foul.
2 team fouls on the Mavericks. The Bucks do not have a team foul. Irvin Johnson gets the call off the bench.
Returning from Milwaukee, number 40, Irvin Johnson.
And he will replace Scott Williams. Well, we've told you many times that the Bucks each other. It was good to see everybody get back together yesterday.
Yeah.
They were glad to be back together. They all talked about how they enjoyed the All-Star weekend and what they did. And
had a spirited practice right here in this building.
They worked hard last night.
Yeah, they did.
Robinson on the reload.
Now they've got some work to do right here.
Glenn has 7. Nash penetrates, kicks. Nowitzki over Manning, and who wants it? Robinson.
See, bad shot by Nowitzki, but you said it, Jim. He's going to take them. Again, penetration. See, you get some stops, you get some transition.
John, you can't disrupt Dallas if you challenge all of their shots, and that's Nowitzki, that's FINLEY, that's all of them.
And you've got to get up and play people. Don't let them beat you. Oh, that's foul on Manning. Now Bradley back in. Tonight he's a factor. So again, at the defensive end, Rodman gets a break. At the defensive end, Bradley, a major force here in the first half.
Rodman has 1 point, 7 rebounds. Ceballos deep. He's sandwiched and then fouled. Irvin Johnson, that will be EJ's 3rd, and the 1st on the Bucks. Now check that, the 2nd on the Bucks. A timeout taken with 6:57 remaining the first half. At Reunion Arena, it's Dallas 41, the Bucks 31. This will be your last chance to see the top team in the Central Division at the Bradley Center in the regular season. Thursday at 7, the Bucks and the Pacers. Call now 227-0500 and pick up a $17 ticket for just $11. 227-0500. Ouch.
Whoa. It says it, difference in shooting percentage. This game's been about shooting. Mavericks at the line and from the field.
8 points, as you saw, 8 over 26. Ceballos rebounding the miss. Just over 6.5 minutes remaining in period number 2. Finley uses that Bradley screen, doesn't do anything with it. He's looking for Bradley in the post. Knocked away by Darvin Ham. And it is going to be
foul on Bradley.
Yeah. Davy Jones seemed to call it the other way, and then he corrected himself. He got him. He hooked him.
You know, Jim, you talk about a screen by Bradley. Now, if he could somehow get horizontal, it would be a heck of a screen. But the way it is not much of one.
It's like a stalk of corn setting a screen.
He'd be a good guy in our 10.
And now a whistle and illegal defense called against Dallas. It's the first against the Mavericks.
I think on Bradley, Jim, he was trying to get to the double team. He said, hey, you pass, and I'm on the way.
What did you say? In our 10?
Yeah, you know, the 10 that we made.
Yeah, when you and I stand together in the right position, we're a 10.
Bradley would really make it a 10, wouldn't he?
We look like a 10. I don't know if we are a 10. Robinson from the top. Yes, sir. Knocked away from Bradley. Ball loose. Ham slides out of bounds. Great effort, Darvin Ham.
On the foot, sometimes it's too big.
Ow.
You ever have one of those strawberries? Foreburn, like from your hip all the way down to your knee, and you wake up in the middle of the night with it just stiffening up and drawing up on you? Oh.
Nowitzki has 10.
They are shooting well. They're staying in that 50% bracket.
Robinson's miss, rebounded, and Ray Allen able to score, so it's an 8-point game.
Bucks had a ton of offensive rebounds, but I think that's 11. But they've had a lot of misses to get rebounds.
Here they come again. Robinson crosses over, then fades into the corner, waiting for help. Darvin Ham blocked by Bradley.
Foul Dallas. Number 44, Sean Bradley, his second, third.
Bradley playing with a lot more confidence, more aggressive, Jim. No question on the foul. Darvin takes it back in on him.
Bradley leaves. Rodman enters.
That's the way to nullify Bradley. Take it at him, get past him, get the fouls, and get him out of the game. Now, again, the Bucks have to concentrate on, let's go inside like that.
Nice.
Sabalos is asleep. Wasn't he informally voted at the All-Star game one of the worst 3 defensive players by the players? Love to be on that list, huh?
Dirk Nowitzki, and Allen has it. In Dallas, they used to call Nowitzki Irk. No D. Robinson. 3 off. It bounces off of Nowitzki. Finds Rodman. Even when it goes off his own players, he gets the rebound. And Sabalos coaches that one over. 45-37 Dallas with 4:20 left, second quarter. Cassell shows it to Finley. He needs help. Watch this. Darvin Ham.
In yesterday's practice, Jim, he was demonstrating the dunk that won the dunk contest.
He duplicated Mitch Carter's first dunk.
Yep. Not the other one, though. The one through the legs? Not that one.
Finley on the fadeaway. Darvin Ham with a rebound.
Good D on that. That was not a good shot. Runaway.
Cassell foul counted, and he'll shoot.
That's big time. That is going to the basket. That's what the Bucks need. That's what you love to see. Now without their stopper in there, this is not a good defensive unit by the Mavs, and Cassell all the way for maybe 3.
Sabalos picking up number 3. It is the 4th team foul. The Bucks with 2.
And Jim, the Bucks have done just what they had to do. That lead was built up. They've gone after it to reel it back in.
Sam Cassell, 13 points. Don't be surprised if he has a big game. In 2 games in Texas, Houston and San Antonio, Sam has averaged 31 points, 9.5 assists. He has shot the ball at 64%. Rodman, +1.
That's the only way he's going to hurt you offensively. It's the reason this is set up. Nash beats Cassell. The inside D has to rotate. Now watch. Here's help. Now Ham comes over. There's no one to block out Rodman. Therefore, it's an easy putback by Rodman.
Over the years, a lot of people have suggested that Rodman go back to where he was from. And he has. He was raised in Dallas. So Rodman,
and he's making free throws,
is home.
At home. That means it's good if he's making free throws.
Cassell goes down. Eric Strickland on a block.
And he'll shoot.
15 foul. Milwaukee shoots the penalty for the remainder of the period.
You know, Jim, that was an example a moment ago. Well, both point guards gave us an example of the value of penetration. When you break people down and you create, now the inside guys have to give help. That leaves people open for passes, for putbacks, for easy situations. That's why penetration is so valuable.
Milwaukee, number 5, Tim Thomas.
If you're a guard that can break it down in the half court, you have great value. Sorry.
Tim Thomas on for Danny Manning. 3:24 remaining. The Bucks will shoot free throws for the rest of the period. Dallas over the limit now. 4-point game. The Bucks have trailed by as many as 14. That was at 37-23. Sam Cassell, John, is halfway toward that Texas total. He has 15 points.
7 again.
By the way, he also has hit 50% of his three-point shots in the Lone Star State this season.
Clear out for Finley.
Thomas over to help. Finley splits the defenders and airballs it.
Bad shot. Splits the defenders and throws the left hand up.
That's a block. Nash. And you know what? Ray Allen was going 1-on-5. All 5 Mavericks were back. He took it to the baseline, and Nash slid in to bump it. We'll have the free throws when we come back. 2:57 remaining in the first half. Tonight, Bucks beat All-Stars, Stats, and Stotts. Harry Stotts will join us prior to the third period tonight and tell us what to look for in the second half. It's all brought to you by Miller Lite. Is Miller Lite better because it tastes great or because it's so smooth? You decide. Taste a true Pilsner.
Jim, we have Bucks fans all over the country, but Reverend Peter Briscoe sitting behind his son there eating cotton candy is pastor down here in the Dallas area with a growing church, and he grew up watching the Milwaukee Bucks play and loves seeing them play and wants to be remembered to family back home.
Father Stuart Briscoe. Right. Ray Allen at the free throw line. The Bucks are trying to close the gap again. Ray can make it a 2-point game. And he does, 48-46. Ray with 15, so the guards are doing a job. Allen and Cassell have combined for 30 of the Bucks' 46. Glenn Robinson yet to hit double figures. He has 9. Strickland watch Finley. Good defense by the Bucks. That ball was tipped by Cassell with 7 on the shot clock.
You're right, Jim. Everybody up on their man, shutting him down, covering the passing lane. 6 on the clock now.
And Nash pulls a Cassell against Cassell. He goes up, leans in, and draws the foul.
Yeah, that's what you have to do in a situation like that. Somebody's got to take it and make it happen. Nash does here. And you're right, Cassell's one of the best in the game at pulling people in on that move. Nash gets him back.
Steve Nash missed the first 22 games of the season with an ankle injury. He did not play against the Bucks in Milwaukee. 50-46. 2 high-scoring teams that struggle to defend the score going here tonight. Little hot for Thomas from Robinson.
This is one where you'd like to see the Bucks. Good turnover the other way. Bad pass by Rodman. You'd like to see the Bucks take the lead going into halftime since they were so far down, and you don't want this to be one of those hump nights where you can't get over it.
Dennis Rodman threw a screwball that time. Imagine that.
Oh, man.
Allen triple. 50-49, 50 to the Mac Fund, Piggly Wiggly. 18 now for Ray.
2 minutes left.
Nash.
Nash heard me talking about him, huh?
Cassell,
tough shot.
High Glasser doesn't go, and Eric Strickland on a bust out. Eric Strickland still working.
And he's played some good ball for him a few games lately.
Nash's 3 comes off. 1:35 remaining in the first half. The Bucks are down by 3. Cam against Rodman, and Rodman slides out to bump him.
Now, Dallas number 70, Dennis Rodman, is
Fun watching the officials signal to the table a foul on 70.
I know.
It takes 3 moves. 5-2-0.
The tackle, huh? You know, I was thinking about it. I saw a picture of Rodman yesterday with all the jewelry, you know, the nose and the ears and everything.
How did you know it was him?
Well, you know how long it takes him to get ready for a game and then put all that, get it all out and put it back in? I mean, that's got to be not fun.
Good thing they charter and don't have to go through the metal detector.
He gets stuck to one of them. It's going to take him an extra hour just to get ready.
Rodman hands it off. Strickland now defended by Allen. Tough shot.
Yeah. Well, they're answering. They're not the answer, they're answering.
Bucks get 2 back.
The answer's in Philadelphia.
He had a pretty good all-star game.
Happy to be there. You can tell that he was.
Whoa! Cassell and Finley.
That's on Finley. He throws an elbow at Cassell, trying to strip the ball and take it out.
Technical foul, Dallas, number 4, Michael Finley.
Sam, I think, realizes that is somewhat uncharacteristic of Michael Finley in the final analysis.
See, now you hear the whistle. He wants to hold the ball. Sam wants to take it out and give it to him.
Returning from Milwaukee, 15, Vinny Del Negro.
Vinny Del Negro re-enters for the Bucks. We're talking about Rodman taking a long time to get ready. My favorite thing, I think, in his career is the fact that in 1997 he was listed #1 on Mr. Blackwell's list of worst dressed women.
You know Dennis loved that. Oh, tough
Thomas
shot.
rolls it home around the world and in to tie the game at 54.
What an athletic move. Wow. Spread the court, give it to Finley, let him work.
And he does. 1.9 seconds remaining. So Finley took it deep, got the deuce, and that's the lead. The Bucks have battled back nicely here to trail by just 2 after being behind 14 at 37-23. It's 56-54 on the Bucks television network with Bucks Beat straight ahead. Tonight, the Bucks battled back in that second quarter, outscoring the Mavericks 35-32. They are down 2 now at 56-54. As you know, this past weekend, Ray Allen and Glenn Robinson enjoyed their first All-Star experience. It didn't take Ray Allen very long at all to know that he was in a special place.
Walking into the locker room, it's like, I didn't see Tim Thomas' uniform or Irvin Johnson uniform. I saw Lonzo Mourning, Vince Carter, John Iverson, and it was an array of different colors. And, you know, being all in the locker room at the same time, you know, it's something that's only going to happen once, and that's during All-Star weekend.
What did you enjoy about the game itself?
That any particular time, you know, if I had the ball or, you know, if Stackhouse had the ball or Iverson had the ball, you know, we were passing to each other. It was like I gave the ball to Stackhouse one time. He went down the lane, and, you know, he came and scooped under and dunked it. And I was thinking, you know, that's the stuff that he does during the year. And Allen Houston's out spotted up for a 3, and Reggie spotted up. And it was like one time we ran a play for Reggie, and I had the ball up top, and he was sitting there, and he ran hard and went the other direction, cut back, and he was open, but Rasheed Wallace kind of blocked the shot, and I was sitting there thinking, I was like, that's normally me guarding Reggie, so I need to pay attention to what Rasheed Wallace just did, but he's so long, but I was just thinking it was amazing to see that, and I was passing to him. We're on the same team for one time.
You finally made it. What was the best part of the weekend?
I don't know. Everything was great. I think we got a chance to see a lot of different stuff. Vince Carter with his dunking, Shaquille O'Neal 360, and I finally got there. It was a good experience just to be on the same court with all the great players at one time instead of battling them to beat them.
Did it take some pressure off getting a lot of minutes with Ray Allen?
Oh, yeah, it took pressure off. Just to be on the court, just to be out there at the same time with Ray Allen. You know, first time All-Star jitters, I think that helped us both out to be on the court at the same time.
Well, you can tell they both enjoyed it and both did a very good job. Allen 14 points, Glenn Robinson had 10 points and 6 rebounds. It was a great experience for both of them, for the Milwaukee Bucks and all Bucks fans. We'll be back and take a look at the halftime stats right after this. You're watching the Bucks Television Network. Perfect 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Allen with 18. Michael Finley leading Dallas with 11 points. Finley hitting 5 of 10 in the first half. The leading scores are brought to you by Potawatomi Bingo Casino, where the excitement is building toward a new world-class casino this fall. We'll be back. Johnny Mack is standing by with assistant coach Terry Stotts right after this. The half, 56-54. John McLaughlin is standing by with Terry Stotts.
Thanks, Jim. Welcome, everybody. With Coach Terry Stotts, we're going to do this each game for you. Terry, what concerns you guys in the first half versus the second?
Well, I think we did a good job containing their transition. They made their run at the end of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter with transition. We got back into the game when we contained that. Offensively, penetration's been good for us. Offensive rebounding's been good for us. But this is the type of game that they like. It's up and down. We just got to contain their runs.
Bradley, a factor in the first half defensively, and of course you know he can be.
We let Sean get off to a good start. I think it may have caught us off guard, but they went to him early. He did a good job, and then after that, I think we clamped down on him and done a much better job with that.
And the shooting percentage difference a factor, but that came out of that transition we talked about.
Yeah, they got a lot of confidence in their transition. That's what they like to do. They like to shoot threes in transition, and they gain a lot of confidence in that.
All right, good luck.
All right, thanks.
We'll be watching. Jim, back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Thank you, Terry. The hustle board for the first half shows the Bucks +4, 27-23. The blocks in the game belong to Dallas. Milwaukee +7 in rebounding. Dallas with 2 steals to 1 by the Bucks. The hustle board brought to you by cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Never miss a genuine opportunity. Well, you heard Terry Stotts say that the Bucks let Sean Bradley get off a little bit early. He's 4 of 6, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 10 points for Bradley, and also the offensive rebounding was a factor. The Bucks have 11 offensive rebounds, 11 of 26. Dallas 4 of their 19.
Well, I'll tell you, Jim, if the Bucks don't offensive rebound, look out. Consistency, not quite there through the first half, but the Bucks at least got some of it back. Containing Finley and Ceballos, well, you gave them the rundown in that regard, and we're seeing other guys clip in there tonight, but Ceballos with 10 and Finley with 11. Bucks moving the ball. I think they are moving the ball pretty well. They got caught with too many jumpers earlier, but made up for it. And we talked about their transition. They had 32 points in the paint. That's too many.
Don Nelson going with 7 players in the first half. 4 of them have scored in double figures. Nowitzki 10, Bradley 10. Off the bench, Ceballos with 10, and Finley the leader with 11. The Bucks have 2 in double figures, both starting guards. Allen 18, Sam Cassell with 16 points in the first half.
Well, you know that this team likes to get out and use their athleticism. That is the Mavericks, and Terry Stotts talked about that. So the way you contain that, Jim, is you don't turn the ball over and you put the ball in the basket. Now, one of the things that did help is all those offensive rebounds with some of the misses. At least the Bucks contained some of their fast break opportunity by getting it back.
Underway in the third quarter, the Bucks start with the ball. Ray Allen will be called for the offensive foul.
Good anticipation. Ray can't believe it. He wants some clarification. Let's take a look. I think that shouldn't be. He was not positioned at Strickland in that case, but I think they're saying you put the arm up or the elbow. I don't know. Strickland was moving.
The crew here capturing Ray Allen's thoughts very nicely with that camera shot. He couldn't believe it. Nowitzki's 3 off. Ball loose. Allen has it. He blows by Strickland. And Nowitzki is bumped by Robinson after knocking the ball away. The Bucks will get it back with 19 on the shot clock.
With Bradley in there in this period, Jim, you got to go back to what you mentioned earlier, that draw and kick situation. See if you can get him to come to you and find the open man. He's defending Irvin Johnson. Johnson, so Irvin has to get into the opening. Offensive foul.
Scott Williams actually 3 seconds.
Okay. Well, Scott did not need a quick foul, that's for sure. That nullified him in the first half.
As John mentioned, we will hear from Terry Stotts prior to the third quarter of all of our televised games down the stretch as we watch the Bucks work their way toward the playoffs in 2000.
We'll get some good insights from first half to the second.
Rodman still on it.
That's optimum. He got 2 rebounds out of that.
And 2 misses. 3 misses total.
The misses are good for the Bucks. The rebounds, that's what the worm wants.
Allen 3. Back to Finley. The Bucks worked for a decent shot that time. It wasn't good enough. Irvin Johnson does all he can.
And Ron Nelson likes to establish inside with Bradley. Give him some game in here. That makes everything else a little bit easier.
John, this is a very formidable front line for Dallas with Bradley, Nowitzki,
Big,
and Rodman. Sam Cassell. Sam with 18. Strickland drives on the baseline, and he is fouled. Davy Jones saying 40, and he gets confirmation it was on Irvin Johnson.
Well, Strickland did a fine job then of turning the corner and then really putting the burners on. And by the time EJ gets there, I mean, it's too late. He can't cut him off. He's too deep, and they're both moving.
Eric Strickland, 2 shots.
Eric Strickland, a very good free throw shooter, 86%.
You got him. Get him again.
This kid has been scoring quite a bit lately. 19.5 points a game over his last 4.
Big game their last one before All-Star break.
21 points against Seattle.
Yeah, that's going against a pretty good defensive unit, especially with the guards.
Robinson inside. Oh, man. Many times you hear the whistle blow. Strickland dumps for Finley. Glasser won't go, and the Bucks get it, so no damage. But I'll tell you something. Robinson was fouled by Bradley. Robinson stepped back 3, flatliner too long. Rodman has it. Strickland crosses over and crosses up himself.
Now Bradley gets this one. Is it clean? Let's see. Might have been.
From our angle, it looked like there was contact with the body, but that shows it was fairly clean at the top.
At the other end, Irvin Johnson, though, gets an alter out of their miss and forcing the miss at that end. Kenny Maurer sees that as Bucks ball. I'm not sure. Bucks going the other way. Bucks ball. Get down there, EJ. Get down there. Don't cave in that easily. Kenny Maurer seemed to know exactly what happened, Jim. He seemed to be assertive walking back up to say, I've got this.
Cassell to the middle, now the kick out. Irvin Johnson.
Irvin Johnson.
1-point game. Big clock, under 9 minutes now in the third quarter. The Bucks trying to sweep the season series against Dallas and beat the Mavericks for the 7th consecutive time. That's Nowitzki. Nowitzki has a dozen. Robinson. That 3 comes off. Rodman hits the deck. $17 tickets available for just $11 if you call now, 227-0500. Call during our telecast tonight, and you'll be able to join us on Thursday night when the Bucks host the Indiana Pacers.
You know, Jim, we go long periods of time, and Glenn Robinson doesn't get the ball in post-up. I like to see him get it in there, and then use his quickness if Dirk's on him, or if it's a smaller man post-up, turnover.
turnovers. Irvin Johnson going to the glass. That should be Bucks ball.
It is.
Don Bradley touched it as the ball went out of bounds. Great hustle by Irvin Johnson.
Yeah, it really is. And look at him come to it, get to the ball. Also, Bradley hustling well. He just can't contain and goes out of bounds.
You see the Bucks trying to go to the middle and kick it out. Robinson in the middle for two.
That's what I've wanted, Jim. Something where, rather than Glenn just relying on the three-pointer all the time. He's too good. He can take the quickness on Dirk or the post-up on other people.
Robinson in double figures. He's been in double digits every game this season. He has 11 now. Rodman pointing out the illegal defense. Hank Armstrong blows the whistle. And this is the second violation, so the Bucks will shoot. Mr. Rodman had that one before Hank Armstrong did.
Well, that might be the next profession. Maybe Dennis will be an official.
Dennis Rodman and George Karl sharing a moment on the sidelines. They have apparently shared moments in Las Vegas during the offseason. On occasion, they have run into each other there. Draws the foul. Robinson in the air and pumps it.
Number 13, Glenn Robinson is.
Those flying fouls aren't what the coach wants.
He shows the fake, and you know he wants to shoot it, so it's a good fake. He gets Glenn up. Once you get committed, you just can't change direction in the air. You try to get away from the contact, but a smart offensive player, and we see it in Cassell all the time, will make sure the contact occurs. He'll get in under it.
Dallas, a good free throw shooting team, right behind the Bucks, as a matter of fact. Milwaukee's second in the league, behind Indiana.
That may change with Rodman on the team, though, Jim. If he gets to the line, though, she's going to draw him, bring him down. He doesn't want to really get to the line often. Tonight, he's, what, 2 for 4? He shot pretty well.
2 for 3, actually. Robinson leaves it for Irvin Johnson. Oh, good job. Good job to get it, and a shot clock reload. Knocked out. Strickland, 13 on the shot clock. And we'll have a timeout. 6:58 remaining in the third quarter in Dallas. The Mavericks up to 62-60. You're watching the Bucks Television Network. Pretty good makeup job.
Maverick colors.
Rodman brings out the best in everybody. He said facetiously. 6:58 remaining in the third quarter. The Bucks going with Irvin Johnson, Sam Cassell, Ray Allen. Ball tipped away and out of bounds, I believe.
Yeah, Bucks ball, but 1 second off the clock.
Don Nelson, a 900 game winner, actually 906 and 73 in 22 NBA seasons. He's the 6th in the league to reach the 900 victory plateau.
Moving up the list. Longevity.
Allen's shot comes away. Scott Williams. He'll go right back to Ray. 3 good. Allen with another triple. He has 3 of those tonight, and that means $150 so far thanks to Ray Allen. And Piggly Wiggly donated to the back front.
Bucks up by 1. Go on from this lead.
Bucks have 5 threes overall tonight. $250 total. To the top, Strickland. He can't answer with a 3. Irvin Johnson has it. Hands off to Cassell. 3 Mavs back. Robinson wings it out to Williams. Rodman pulls in his 13th rebound, matching his total in game 1 with Dallas.
Well, Irvin Johnson with 8, doing a good job as well.
John Bradley. Glenn Robinson has 8 rebounds as well, John.
That's right. He's been on the board.
15 on the shot clock.
Got to get the angles on those passes. If the guy's on the top side like that, you have to take the ball a little deeper, then make the pass.
Allen back out. Robinson, 3 good. Robinson, a 3-pointer. The Bucks lead 66-64. Milwaukee's first lead tonight. Robinson 14 points, another 50 to the back run. We thank Piggly Wiggly. Williams cleared. Cassell underneath Irvin Johnson, and the Bucks are up by 4.
Nelly needs a time on that one. The Bucks are taking control. You love to see it, and they will start to reel. That's transition basketball.
The Bucks have outscored the Mavs 14-8 in the third quarter. 5:08 left in the period. Airlines, Milwaukee's hometown airline, is proud to support the Bucks. Midwest Express, the best care in the air. Take a look now at the sky shot of the game. Sam Cassell, penetration. Irvin Johnson up and through. The Midwest Express sky shot tonight. That gives the Bucks a 68-64 lead with 5:08 remaining in the third period.
Number 23, Cedric Sabalos.
Gary Kirby at the controls tonight. Glad to have you along. Jim each other. It was good to see everybody. Second chance points. Milwaukee doing a great job. 14-2. Rodman with the putback. The ball was knocked away from Bradley. Great defensive work by the Bucks, but the man who was always around the ball was around it again.
Well, see, Jim, he had Cassell on it, so he can push Cassell out of there. And Rodman is a very physical, strong player. He just gains position and then gets a lucky bounce. He's there for the putback. That's what he'll do offensively, and that's a foul on Bradley. That's challenging. Getting the body into him.
Foul, Dallas number 44.
Getting to the line. That's not always easy to do. You got to hang time a lot and hope that you get that body contact.
Many times, as you know, you can take it right at a shot blocker and draw the foul, and that's what Allen did on this exchange.
Sometimes the hardest thing to do is see when you take it to a shot blocker like that, then you try to go over him or away from him. No, you got to try to get right at him, and that's your best chance. I remember people saying that had success with Bill Russell. Gail Goodrich was one, and I think one was because he was left-handed. The other was he said he would try to go right by his head and take the ball right up by his head to shoot it. I don't know how you even think about that kind of thing and pull it off, but he said he could.
Allen with 23 points. He defends Finley. Finley shoots over Irvin Johnson. I want to ask you something regarding a statement by Don Nelson when we get a chance here, and it involves Bill Russell. Robinson
Played a few years with him. Penetrate. Jump ball.
Nelson saying there have been 2 stars in the NBA who have done the dirty work. Bill Russell and Dennis Rodman. That's a strong statement.
Did he make that after Dennis came here?
Yes.
Number 13, Steve Nash.
I mean, there's no question Rodman does do the dirty work, but if he doesn't rebound and play D and go on the floor, Jim, he's got nothing else to offer the game.
I never thought of Russell as a guy who did dirty work. Sam Cassell. Russell did a lot more, and he did the dirty work.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that's the right word or terminology. I just think it's well timed also.
Bucks up 5. Hook shot, Sean Bradley.
He's got that going. He's worked on it.
Hardly in the skyhook category, but effective nevertheless. Robinson with a step back. He's fouled by Sabalos. Vinny Del Negro will enter the game for Sam Cassell. I'm not sure. I think Sam,
he wanted to
I think he pulled himself out because Del Negro was going in for Ray Allen, and he said, I'll take Sam. Sam
just wants the rest. There's nothing wrong with it.
Now Tim Thomas will get the call. He replaces Irvin Johnson. Robinson solid again tonight, 15 points, 8 rebounds. Rodman has 15 boards. The Mavericks will host Detroit, one of Rodman's old teams, in fact his first NBA team, on Thursday night. And tickets for that game are going fairly quickly. Michael Finley.
Boy, the second time he's gone to that corner and just drained it. It's been right on all the way.
2-point game. This has been a good one. 15 rebounds by Rodman is a Maverick season high. Yes, sir, Thomas. What a putback for Tim Thomas.
You know, Jim, also, when you look at Rodman, that was a wonderful putback. When you think about Rodman, and he says he hasn't really been working out, and what he's accomplishing here early really is impressive. This conditioning, the ability to get that many rebounds, and scored a few points, and it's a turnover there.
Well, Rodman tries to get offensive and turns it over. Now he slams the ball down right near Scott Williams, who hit the deck, tripping over a cameraman after being fouled on the play. It's the third team foul on Dallas.
Scotty can run the boards, Jim, and because he does, they underlay there, but he's fouled on the way. Rodman upset with himself about the turnover.
Michael Finley commits the foul.
As Rodman gets in better condition, he will help make this team a better defensive team. And if he can inspire Bradley to play defense like he has tonight, they can improve in that department quite a bit.
Doc Rivers said that Rodman should be in great shape if he has been running from nightclub to nightclub.
How would Doc know that? Because that keeps you in shape. I don't want to get Doc.
Just over 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Finley's miss comes down for Bradley, and he goes to the glass. 78-74 now, the Bucks lead. Bradley with 18 points.
This has to be one of his better games, Jim. Not the best, but one of the better ones.
And another whistle-stopping play. Offensive. So the Mavericks will get it back with 1:51 in the quarter. Bradley's season high, John, is 20 points.
Right. That foul was on Scott Williams, trying to set a screen on the baseline.
Bradley well over his average of 8.3 a game.
Yes.
Loose ball foul. On Rodman.
Loose ball foul, Dallas, number 70, Dennis Rodman.
It will be interesting to watch Dennis Rodman play for a losing team, John. He's never done that.
See, Rodman threw
Thomas held him
away, and then he said he held him. So which is first? They got Rodman, apparently. I don't know if it was first or not.
Foul, Dallas, number 13, Steve
Nash commits the foul for the Mavericks. 1:25 in the quarter now.
Shooting.
Second in the last 2 minutes.
That's the second in the last 2 minutes, which puts Milwaukee on the free throw line. So Ray Allen will step up.
Bucks having a good quarter, Jim. If they can hang on here and start to build on it a little bit more, they've done a heck of a job coming back from that in that first half, the shooting distance.
Outscoring the Mavericks 25-18 at this point. .25 for Ray Allen. The Bucks lead is 6. George Carroll wants Danny Manning for the last minute plus here, and also Irvin Johnson as we wind down in the third quarter. Ceballos. Rodman loses.
But he gets a rebound, an offensive rebound on that. Hustle to the ball.
And he gives Rodman 16 boards. Dennis Rodman's career high in rebounding is 34. That's the same as his career high scoring total. 34 rebounds.
34 points. Think about his game.
Ray Allen, number 34.
That was well timed, huh?
27 now for Ray. 82-74 Milwaukee. A great third quarter. And remember, this is the quarter that Dallas normally plays well in. Ceballos left open for three. Thomas was circling. Ray Allen wanted the pick and roll action. He keeps it, dishes out. Del Negro. Now Thomas is open for three. Ceballos had the audacity to take a rebound away from Rodman. He'll learn. That's the end of the quarter. The ball goes out of bounds as the buzzer sounds. After three, the Bucks lead by 5. A solid third quarter. It's 82-77. Back with the fourth quarter shootout.
It's a great name.
Allen in the fourth quarter shootout. Gregory wins a 4-pack of Bucks tickets and a Bucks media guide, and now has a chance to pick up a 19-inch color television set. Compliments of the Bucks and Miller Lite. The fourth quarter shootout is brought to you by Miller Lite. Better because it tastes great or because it's so smooth. You decide. Taste a true Pilsner. 82-77 Milwaukee. The Bucks outscoring the Mavs 28-21 in the third quarter. Ray Allen has the rebound off the Bradley miss. Manning with a deep pass underneath. Allen has it knocked away. He thought he was fouled. Now he has to run back and help out on defense. Nash for three. Irvin Johnson keeps it in play. And Allen will get it again. Gregory Brown probably thought that was a pretty good pass. Looked like an assist, didn't it?
Yeah. He was probably up and yelling.
Vinny Del Negro. Well, Gregory Brown, thanks for taking part in the fourth quarter shootout. We'll see you at a Bucks game. 4 tickets and the Bucks media guide. Nowitzki in for Bradley. Del Negro there along with Irvin Johnson. And Tim Thomas gets the rebound. Her ball. Pass along the baseline. Manning can't get his shot to fall. And here comes Dallas Cedric Ceballos. Eric Strickland from behind Manning with great defensive hands. And now we get a foul on Manning.
Too bad the Bucks have gotten that far. Manning with the size could get the shot off from behind on Strickland right there. No foul there, which is amazing. It looks like there was a lot of contact, but perhaps not. Then they call it.
And from Milwaukee, number 10.
The best three-point shooter in the league is in for Dallas, Hubert Davis. Sam Cassell returns for the Bucks.
Now, what's that tell you? When he comes in, the Bucks are schooled on him. You've got to extend your D on him. That's where he's going to set up. That's the shot he wants.
Sam Cassell on the foul.
Sam Cassell, his third, second team foul.
Grabs Kenny Mauer playfully.
Now, remember, in the first quarter, the Bucks committed a lot of fouls early and got them on the line. Now, the Bucks with 2 team fouls already. Mavs none.
Returning for Dallas, number 7.
And Sam has 2. Bradley leaves. Rodman re-enters.
And again, Jim, when he goes out, you got to think offensively. Okay, guys, get inside. Go at the basket. You can take it to him.
Hank Armstrong Armstrong made Rodman tuck in his jersey before he allows play to begin.
Then he pulled it halfway back out right away. Halfway's okay.
8 seconds on the shot clock. Hubert Davis inbounding. Strickland. Woo.
He had a look. Overlay.
And Tim Thomas with a great play to give the Bucks the ball. Del Negro, yes.
Now see, that's just smart play. You got Sam taking it right down the middle. 2 men on him. So if Vinny comes into that action, they can play him also. He's got to stay on the wing and get the jumper. Spacing.
Milwaukee up 9. It's the Bucks' biggest lead.
Heck of a play.
Yeah.
Quickness. I mean, Manning is right there, Jim, and he sees him in time to just go through the baseline, and there was no room.
He just knifed inside. CASSELL from the baseline, a little too strong. Nowitzki with the rebound. He beat Manning to the ball. DIRK Nowitzki. Nowitzki, the third highest scoring foreign-born player in the league right now. Tim Duncan is number 1. Tony Kukoc, number 2. Nowitzki averaging 17.5 a game. Del Negro might have gotten a piece of it. Del Negro said he got my hand or my arm.
Yeah, it was off too much.
Yeah.
Now Davis wants the threes, remember. Don't foul him here. Don't get a 13 foul right away. Yeah, there it is. That's a problem.
Tim Thomas on the foul. 8:35 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Mavericks are closing the gap. The Bucks lead 86-81. 227-0500. Members of the Bucks sales staff standing by. 227-0500. That should be an entertaining game. The teams have split the first 2 meetings. Indiana makes its final regular season appearance in the Bradley Center Thursday night. Hubert Davis. Little fadeaway shot from the corner. It's 86-83.
Well, they're making the run they need to make. Bucks want to counter, reopen up that lead a bit. Take that starch out of the man.
By the way, if the playoffs started today, the Bucks would meet Indiana in round 1. Manning tries the scoop shot underneath. Irvin Johnson attempts the putback and draws the foul.
Now, there's a couple things to like about that foul. One, it's a foul, team foul. Number 2, he was shooting, so he's on the line. That's their first team foul. So that helps make up the difference in the team foul situation a little bit. It starts with penetration by Manning. The shot, that gets Irvin in good rebound position because his man comes to the penetration.
Hubert Davis called for the foul on the reach.
Get off 76 or 86. Been there too long. That helps.
The Bucks shot 58% in the second quarter, 47 in the third. Right now they're at 28. You can see that the second quarter was big for the Mavericks as well.
You say my key consistency certainly has not been adhered to tonight. They're stroking the J.
Michael Finley, 17. Yeah, you can throw that out.
Well, I mean, it's a problem. They need it, but it's not been applied.
Robinson.
That's what I like to see get it, Jim. Rather than just on the deep perimeter all the time, let him catch in a situation like that.
The Bucks have won 26 times without stellar consistency or killer consistency this year. That's what they're looking for in the final 32 games.
Well, that's part of the unpredictability of this team. They sure had some good moments. It's out of bounds. They hit the line. Good deep fronting, technical on Rodman. Good job on the front. Rodman wanted an illegal defense. That's what he's upset about it. And he's still talking about it.
Rodman sits and he's gone. Rodman's gone. He sits down in the lane to say this is where the man was positioned, and Dennis Rodman has been tossed in his second game back. And second game with the Mavericks. It didn't take long, did it?
No, you knew it wouldn't.
Over the course of his career, Rodman has paid $163,000 in major fines.
This one's going to go up because he's staying in his space.
Yep. He won't leave.
In the meantime, Jim, you know how he's hurting his team right now? They're losing 2 technicals. Maybe more in a moment. He's hurting his team.
Yeah. Rodman has gone off.
In the meantime, he's lost focus of them winning this ball game. They were coming. They were playing some good ball.
And off comes the jersey. So the show continues.
Get these 2 technicals. Make them. Yep. Got one. That's the important thing. Bucks were having a hard time scoring, and that helps.
There's the man who brought Dennis Rodman to Dallas. They call him the owner. He's not the owner. He's the would-be owner, Mark Cuban.
Right.
He went to Indiana University, wanted to hear Indiana basketball games on the radio, couldn't do it, figured out a way to get those games on the internet. It became broadcast.com. He sold it to Yahoo for over $1 billion and bought the Mavericks, it would appear.
An American story, huh?
Danny Manning, no. Tip Irvin Johnson, no. The ball goes to the Mavericks. Milwaukee leads by 6 with under 7 minutes to play.
Now, it's fired the crowd up, the Rodman thing. Will it fire his team up and maybe help him after all?
And now Bradley's upset. The crowd is upset. Rodman is gone. The man who sold broadcast.com to Yahoo has lost his Yahoo, and we'll be right back. On to 70. Charlotte wins 95-93, beating Philadelphia on the road. Atlanta takes New Jersey. The fans here getting into this game now in a negative way. Miami beating the Clippers 107-88. And Cleveland knocking off San Antonio by 11. Those are the finals. Here it's 91-85 with 6:25 left. Cassell's 3 off for Finley and the Mavericks. Nowitzki.
Well, it has certainly fired the crowd up. They are upset that Rodman was run. A couple of more calls. They're helping their team get fired up. Perhaps it will help.
Robinson for 3. That will quiet this crowd. Another $50 to the back front. Compliments of Piggly Wiggly.
Well, that's the way to nullify it all.
The out-of-town scores, as always, brought to you by Primeco Personal Communications. Bradley.
Whoa.
That's 20 for Bradley.
I think that was... Well, it was in. Whatever it was, he's having a night.
That matches his season high. 20 points. He previously scored 20 at Washington.
Manning on the dish from Irvin Johnson, who looks like a point guard on that play.
96-89. Manning has 5. An entertaining game tonight, and we have something off the ball.
Irvin Johnson, yeah, he got hooked up, and he kind of threw the elbow up to get loose, and the foul on Irvin Johnson. So that's the 14th foul. They will be shooting after this, and the Mavs only have 1 team foul. Right there, they get hooked up, he swings him off and gets the foul.
Big man, low block right. Bradley glass. No, Irvin Johnson has it.
Doggy got the block.
Yep. Great job.
Oh, that was big time. Great help by Glenn Robinson at the defensive end with a block from the mountain on his shot. Oh, yeah.
Sudden Sam. 25 for Cassell, so he continues to tear up Texas. That's Finley. 98-91. Now we get a T on Sam. A technical on Cassell. And now he's hot.
Finley had his arms around him as he was going away. I don't know what he was...
Well, you know what the fans here want.
I think something happened to Sam on the other side.
Gilbert Davis misses the free throw. Glenn Robinson over on behalf of Cassell, talking with Hank Armstrong, saying he's all right.
Jim, the fans at this end are standing. They are fired up.
They want an eye for an eye.
Something happened to Sam on that play that he was upset with. Something about getting hit in the face, something.
Allen finds Manning. Allen tips it out to Cassell.
No rush.
Shot clock reset.
Use your clock.
George Karl marks out a play and the Bucks go to it. Cassell. Rebound, but a foul.
Well, that's on them.
Hubert Davis.
Fortunately, they will get their second team foul.
Number 24, Hubert Davis, his second team foul.
Mavericks have played this quarter with very few fouls, obviously.
Milwaukee up 7, 98-91. Cassell shows it to Finley. Robinson. Step back. 3. Step back. Triple. Glenn Robinson. And Don Nelson is hot now. He's peering out at David Jones. 101-91. The Bucks lead by 10. The Maxman benefits again. Another 50 thanks to Piggly Wiggly. We'll be right back. 91 Milwaukee.
Now what the Bucks want to do, dig in defensively. Don't turn it over and use the clock. Just be sure you get good shots.
How are you enjoying the carnival so far?
It's been interesting. I'll tell you, these fans, Rodman has brought the fans into it, Jim. He has done that. There's no question about it. They're a lot more animated here.
Irvin Johnson on the weak side of the floor, too far away from his man, so the illegal defense called against Milwaukee.
You don't want these things to happen because you don't want them to get these points without the clock running and dig into it a little bit. So they score here. If it's a 2, it can be a 3-point exchange. If they get a 3, it could be a 4-point exchange.
Did you notice the would-be owner of the Mavericks standing at midcourt? Mark Cuban into this one, very visible.
Yeah, he is. He's excited. He was really in the official space as that timeout occurred also.
Ceballos is fouled.
Foul, Milwaukee, number 40.
Irvin Johnson.
Well, this is optimal for them. Get a technical, be able to score here. I don't know if he hit it. Didn't look like it. And now they can score without the clock running and cut that lead down. Got it.
So Irvin is done with 5 points. 12 big rebounds to lead the Bucks.
There's a lot of game left. This one's not put away, that's for sure. Be sure you block out. If he does miss, you don't want him to get another opportunity. There you go.
101-93. 3:15 left. Last season, the Bucks had one 4-game losing streak. It came after the big trade. George Karl has never, I shouldn't say never, but in a decade plus, as Robinson hits a big deuce. George Karl wanted the 3. It is a 3.
It is.
Kenny Maurer had it. He's the only one who had the arms up. So Robinson with back-to-back threes, 26 points. Ceballos pulled that one in and put it in. $50 to the MAC fund, thanks to Piggly Wiggly on Glenn Robinson's triple. Ceballos has 18 points.
Well, not only his 2 threes, Jim, that big block on Bradley a moment ago. He did it again.
He did it again. 3 consecutive three-point shots. 107.95.
Bucks are spreading the court because the Mavs are trying to trap and double team, so you can swing it and get that open look like that.
Our player of the game is emerging
I guess.
in the fourth quarter. Nowitzki's streak comes off.
How about
and a foul
with another rebound, too. As Glenn had a game. As the All-Star had a game. Rebounds, scoring.
29, 10 rebounds, 11 of 22. Robinson had 9 points at the half, 20 in the second half tonight. And Robinson is emptying the building. Those 3 consecutive threes are sending this crowd home. 11,000 plus here tonight. Under 2 minutes now. The Bucks up 107.95. Scott Williams on the miss. He retreats to play defense. Finley pulls up way outside the arc. That one hits the shot block.
Well, this is a game the Bucks considered a must-win. They did not want to go 4 straight losses and start the come back from the All-Star break with a loss.
A $17 ticket can be yours for 11 if you call now. Just $11. 227-0500. Come out Thursday night, watch the Bucks and the Indiana Pacers. A 7 o'clock start at the Bradley Center. Sam Cassell with a 3. The Bucks with 12 three-pointers. 12 of 24.
And 4 in the last exchange. All 4 exchanges. 3 by Glenn.
Nash hears a whistle on the drive. Talking about 4-game skids, the Bucks had one last year, John, after the trade. In all of his years in Seattle, George Karl never had a 4-game losing streak during the regular season. They had the 4-game sweep at the hands of the Lakers in the Western Conference semifinals a few years ago.
Well, I don't know. I don't recall who all played for in his early years there, but he had great talent there, Jim. And with that kind of talent and his coaching combination, you wouldn't expect they would have that many losses. Once they can play some defense with the master defense at the point, Gary Bates.
Number 11, David Jones.
The D will keep you from losing that many games.
Tim Thomas returns from Milwaukee.
So 3-point shooting, doing it for the Bucks, particularly in the second half and the fourth quarter. 12 of 24. Under a minute to play, the Bucks up 13. An alley-oop behind the glass. It's hard to score from there.
His head. Says, man, guys, keep it simple at this point, will you?
You can see the hoop from there.
I know.
Nash allows Thomas to fly by and then hits it 2 from the corner.
Nash, one of those guys that watches the ball when he shoots. Some do it, but you don't teach it. Another lob, miss. Come on, guys. Turnovers you don't want.
You see, the Bucks will win this game, but it's not a time to get sloppy because it's the second half, John. Every possession has been important, but it has gotten more important now as you head down the stretch with 32 left.
It does. Second half of a game.
There it is. It's all about focus and discipline. Scott Williams with an easy deuce from Ray Allen. 112.99. Under 10 seconds remaining. Damon Jones gives it up and gets it back. This is Ceballos. And the Bucks win. The Bucks sweep the season series with the Dallas Mavericks. A big second half tonight. George Karl was nervous. Now he's happy. 112-99 the final at Reunion Arena. So Rodman didn't see the finish, and he missed a good one. Glenn Robinson with 3 consecutive three-point baskets. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.
Milwaukee Bucks basketball is brought to you.
The game brought to you by Cold Filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Never miss a genuine opportunity. Robinson 6 of 10 outside the arc, 29 points, 11 rebounds, 20 of the points coming in the second half. So a tip of the hat tonight to Glenn Robinson, the player of the game. He led the charge in that second half. The Bucks outscoring Dallas in the half 58-43, and John, the big three, came up with 84 points. CASSELL 28 points and 13 assists. So his hot run in Texas continues, and Ray Allen added 27.
It sure does. It was a rather exciting game. A lot of things happening here. The Bucks still a little bit up and down, not putting those 4 quarters together, but they were shooting poorly early. But, Jim, they certainly changed that around as this game goes along. And, you know, the Bucks are capable of that. They've got a lot of firepower. Saw some defensive plays here. We saw Rodman tonight in the final analysis hurting his team, I think. They were right there. He gave up 2 technicals, and then they lost him also. So that's not a good move. But Bucks needed this one. And everybody very happy to get this win and start it off after the All-Star break.
Sean Bradley with a season-high tying 20 points tonight. I was going to ask you how much you thought Rodman's ejection turned it around for the Bucks and against Dallas. I mean, it was kind of odd because I think Milwaukee had it rolling a bit there, but the crowd got into the game at that point, and then the Bucks were still able to come back and overcome all of that.
Well, you think about it, the Bucks were up 4 when he went out, Jim, so that, with the 2 technicals, they got to go up 6 and the ball back. It got the fans into it, but he gave up those 2 free throws, and they lose a good player. They lose a guy who's getting a lot of rebounds and plays D for them. So that whole thing, I think it helped the Bucks more.
Rodman, of course, with a season-high rebounding total tonight for the Dallas Mavericks. Well, we want to remind you one more time, you can call right now at 227-0500 and pick up a $17 ticket for just $11 for Thursday's 7 o'clock start at the Bradley Center, the Bucks and the Indiana Pacers. And if you can't be with us, we will have televised coverage on Midwest Sports Channel Thursday night. But we'd like to see you at the Bradley Center. You'll see exciting Bucks basketball. Thanks for being with us tonight. For John McLaughlin and producer-director Gary Kirby, this is Jim Paskey. So long from Dallas, where McLaughlin, second chance, 12-99. Good night from Reunion Arena. This is the Bucks Television Network.
Driving the Rodmonian first bucket as a Maverick. Fourth quarter. Flash it up. We're going back in time. Rodman, this isn't old school. This is current. He's getting teed up. He argues that there should have been illegal defense. He is teed, and then in protest, he's off. Yeah, he's teed again, and he is gone. That's Rodman being Rodman. He wants the referee to go away. In fact, he does eject the ref, but he doesn't have that much power. Rodman stripping that. He will play naked this season. That is guaranteed. The Bucks win this thing. Buck 12-99. Glenn Robinson not pictured. 29 points. Sam Cassell got dogged out of the All-Star game, 28 points, and he also had 13 assists. Rodmonian does get the 16 boards and 6 points.
On Milwaukee tonight, Dennis Rodman was in the Mavericks lineup for the Bucks game in Big D. The story of this one, the Bucks dialing long distance, 12 of 24 from downtown. All-Star Ray Allen, 27 points. The good guys overcome a 14-point deficit in the first half. In his second game with Dallas, Rodman gets his first ejection, 2 tees, Dennis to the shower, and there went the jersey. Sam Cassell, 28, 13 assists. All-Star Glenn Robinson, 29 and 11 rebounds. That move blew everybody away. The Bucks snapped a 3-game losing string with a 112-99 win. Talk about a deal. Imagine
happened in the fourth quarter of the Bucks-Mavs game in Dallas. Rodman gets a tee for arguing with the ref, sits down, gets another, toss from the game. He refuses to go quietly. He did have a Mavs season high, 16 rebounds, but hurt his team here. Big night for the Bucks, big three, shooting threes, bombs away. Ray Allen had 27 points. Sam Cassell, 28 points, 13 assists. Glenn Robinson, 29 points, 11 rebounds. He shut the door with 3 consecutive three-pointers in the fourth. 12 Bucks three-pointers as they win at 112-99.
On Tuesday, the Bucks drove into the season's second half despite the antics of the ultimate Maverick. The Bucks' big three comes up big in Dallas with a combined 84 points. Amid the distractions, Glenn Robinson lights a fourth quarter fire under the Bucks. About the time Mr. Rodman departs. A Milwaukee knockout punch circumvents a circus. Tonight, the Bucks will attempt to circle around and through the division-leading Pacers. The Bucks are back home again with Indiana.
Which is North America's most popular big game animal.
Shaquille O'Neal is not with me.
Oh, look at that.
You've got Fox Sports News.
MSC, your ultimate sports connection.
The Bucks begin the post-All-Star portion of their home schedule tonight against the division and Eastern Conference leading Indiana Pacers. Good evening and welcome to Bucks basketball on Midwest Sports Channel. I'm Jim Paskey. John McLaughlin will not be with us tonight due to the death of his father-in-law earlier this week. We extend our thoughts, condolences, and prayers to Pam and John and the McLaughlin family. We are, however, happy to have Joe Wolf with us, former Buck, Hornet, Trailblazer, Pacer.
You name it, Jim, I've been there.
Yeah, he has been there, and it's good to have you with us tonight. We're going to see a good basketball game. The third best record in the Eastern Conference, Indiana. They bring a veteran team in here, Joe.
Veteran starting five with youthfulness and energy off the bench. A tough matchup for the Bucks tonight.
The Bucks have played the Indiana Pacers twice. Each team has won on the home court. George Karl has both respect and optimism working tonight.
They got the most versatile offensive skills in any NBA team, I think, in basketball. Their bench is as good as their starters. Their bench against us has played better than their starters have against us. And they've shot over 25 threes against us almost every game they've played us in the last 2 years. But in the game we played them in the beginning of the season, it was probably one of our better games. So I think we got some confidence against them, but we're going to have to play an awful good basketball game to beat them.
Both of these teams can score it. Both can shoot it. Perhaps defense will decide the game. It often does.
Well, if we keep Reggie Miller and Jalen Rose out of the rhythm in the fourth quarter, I think the Bucks will have a good night tonight.
Indiana is the only team in the league that has had the same starting five for every game this season. That may come to an end tonight. Rick Smits will be a